Hey guys, so today we are going to build a famous machine coding interview question, and that is validate OTP UI. So when users generate a OTP by giving some phone number or anything, it will generate an OTP and it asks the user to enter the OTP to validate, right? So that's that feature we want to create. So it is a very famous machine coding interview. So what features we want to build? That let's just discuss that. So for the first thing, if I reload the page, or means if the user goes to the this UI, so it should focus on the first input field, and if I enter anything like maybe 1, so it is going to the next field. 2, it is going to the next field. 4, so after entering 4 digits, so it should just call a API. Here I am just console logging it. So that is a feature. That is the third feature, that is API caller and console log. Then another thing, if we give backspace, it will go to the first field and it will clear the OTP. Another thing, if I just copy paste anything like this, copy 1 2 3 4 and paste it here, it should just fill this accordingly. All the fields will be filled and there will be API call instantly. So after filling each OTP fields, it should call an API. Instead of that, we are doing just a console log. So let us go to the code sandbox and just build the thing. So first thing, we have to make it dynamic. So we will provide a constant variable and we want to make it dynamic, right? So if we give 5 digits, so 5-digit OTP input field will be there. So to make it dynamic, let us create a global variable that will be the OTP in caps OTP digits count. Let's say now it is 4, and for that we'll have to store all the OTP digits. We need one state variable, right? For that we need to declare a state. So let us declare a state const, let's say input array. So we can choose array only because we need to store all the digit side, so we can store it as a number or array of strings, single characters like that. Set input array like that, or here we are. So for initially we will use state variable like that, and to make it dynamic we should use new keyword like calling the constructor and building an object, array object, that is the length. Inside that we will provide the length of the array, right? So let us get this one. Okay, it will be dynamic now. So after that we can fill some value. Let's say we can fill empty string. So it will just create an array with 4 empty string. Now we need to render all the array elements, right? So we can use map for that. First of all, let me create one heading. Let's say validate OTP like that. Next thing, I can use link to have the input fields. Okay, so I'll just map through all the elements of the input array dot map. So inside that we need to provide a callback function, right? So we can use input and index. We need index as a key because we don't have anything to for key like ID or something. We can have that using object or anything, but for the machine coding round we should use array because an object will be very complex for that time. For building a complex application you need to use object for that, I can say. Okay, so I'll just return an input field. Okay, so by mapping it is creating 4 input fields, right, according to this array. So let us just give some key because while using map we need to provide key. Let us take index as the key and the value will be our input element. So whatever the element will be, it will be the value, and we can have some class name as input, or say OTP input, and we can have a on change and focus, anything we can have, but let us just have some styling for these inputs. Let's go to CSS I have added this one, so let us do that. First thing, we can have this div with the class name container maybe. Okay, let's go here and keep it here. So for this container we can have display flex. Okay, then we can have some gap of 5 pixel maybe, and another thing we can have 5 pixel and justify content center. Okay, so let us just give styling to each input. Okay, now we can have one height property and give 50 pixel maybe, and width property 50 pixel, so it will be square. Let's have some border, that is 2 pixel, solid black. Okay, now let's have some border radius 10 pixel maybe. Okay, now we can have text align center. See, if I am giving here, it is very small, right, and it is not in the middle, so I can have text align center and font size maybe 35 pixel. So if I give here, you can see it is in the middle, and let's have some padding of 2 pixel maybe. Okay, that is fine. Now let's go to React and build the features. So first feature will be when we go to the component, it should just go to the first input field, right? It should automatically focus on the first field. For that we need to use impact, and to do that we need to create we need to use ref hook to refer to individual input element. So let's have a use ref hook. Okay, say input ref, and we can use ref that will be imported from React, and we can have one empty array. So for each so it is now getting imported, I think, auto import. So it is now been auto imported, and we will just keep this array empty, and we will store all the input elements in the array. So to do that, what we will do, we will have to provide a reference here, and for each input we need to just store in that huge ref array, right? So what you can do, for each input I will just access this input ref, and the current that will be object inside that huge ref hook, right? So in that we will just pass the index, and for that index we will just store the input. Okay, so let us check what we are getting in the input ref. Console.log input ref. So we are getting an array, you can see. So it is having a array of current array that is 4 HTML input. Okay, so to focus on the first field, what we can use use effect hook, use effect that will have one callback function, and this callback function will be called only once after the user loads the component, right? So we can have this empty dependency array. Now inside this we can provide input ref dot current and have the index h0, means it will be pointed to the first element. We can have optional chaining because maybe there will be some error, right? So if the zero index variable is not there, so it will just not keep any throw any error. So like that we will point to the first input element, and we will just focus it using this. So this is DOM, using DOM only we are doing this. Okay, so let's check this. If I just reload the page, it is pointing to the first input field. So one feature has been successfully completed. So another thing we can have which on change event listener, so that we can change the data and provide it into our array. So we can store it in input array. So let's have the handle change method. We can say on change we'll have the event, right? And what will here we have to just call a function handle change, and I will just provide e.target value as a argument, and I'll just pass index also, right? So I need to pass the index because we need to store the variable according to the index in the input array. So let us create that function. So const handle change, that is taking, sorry, why it is auto formatting, and we will receive the value here and the index here. So first thing we need to check whether it is a number or not, then only we should push into our array, right? So what we can do, we have to just check the value and just input it into the index. Okay. So what we can do, we can do new value is equal to, so the user can enter more than one character, right? Maybe 1 2 3 4 in one single input field. So to avoid this, we need to just trim it. Means if user is providing any empty spaces or like space, and it is giving some space to the input field, so we should trim that first. So let's just trim that value, trim, so that will be a string, right? So it will be a string without any spaces in front and back, and we can just slice the last element enter to that and just store it. So what we can do for that, let's have a new input array, and we will just copy this input array using spread operator. And what we need to do, we need to set the new array for the input index, and we need to assign the value as new value. Okay, so let us see and check what is updating there. So we need to also update the input array, right? Set input array with the new input array. Okay, let us check that. If I reload now, you should not get any error. Okay, and if you are giving 1 2 3 or anything, so it is giving only one record. And let us just console log it, dot log, and see what we are getting in input array. Okay, we reload this. First thing, we are going to the first input field. We are getting empty string for each array value, and if we are given 1, the first is filled with 1. If I go to second and fill 2, it is 2, then 3. You can see 3 here. You can see 4 here. So like that we can do. So first we can handle change has been completed now. So now if you see here, if you are giving 1 2 3 4, it is after entering, it is going to the next input field, right? So to do that, what you can do, after setting the array input, we need to focus it to the next reference, you can see. So to do that, what you can do, if the value is present, then only you need to go to the next field. If the user is giving anything else like space or any character, so one thing we have not checked, it should be number, right? So for that we can check it here, like if the value is not a number, then you just return the function without any value updated. So what we can do, we can have if condition and also value each nan is a function to check it is a number or string, right? So if not, so it will if it is a string, means abcd or anything, each nan will be true, right? So if it is true, then what you can do, you just return the function without any updation. So here if I am giving 3, see if I am giving abcd also, it is not updating. But if we do not do this, and if I am giving a, b, anything, it is updating. Okay, so we should give this to avoid non-numeric input. Like if I try abcd, it is not changing. If I give 1, 2, 3, like that, it is updating. So that's fine. To go to the next field, what you can say, if the new value is present, then only you need to go to the next field. So what we can do, we can check if the new value is there. Then what we will do, we will track the reference input ref, okay, and dot current, and index will be there, right? So index plus 1. So if it is there, just focus it. So I think this will work right now. So if I give 1, it is going to the next field. If I give 2, it is going to the next field. If I give 3, it is going to the last field. If I give 4, it is staying on the last field. So this feature has been completed to going to the next field. So after that, we need to check if you are doing any 4-digit input and copy pasting like that. So what we can do, we need to just fill it automatically, and we do not proceed anything here like that. Okay, so what we can do, we will have a check here if the value dot length is equal to our OTP digit count, then what we shall do, what we will do, we will just split the value, okay, into an array, and we have to just set the new array as the splitted array, we can say converted array from string. So what we can do, set input array, and what we can do, we will have the value, right, value dot split, and we will just split with empty string, and it will be pushed into the we will set the input array using like this. So this will give a array, right? So it will be inputted to the array fields. Let us check that. So let's have a comment here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I copy this, copy and paste here, it is not updating because I think we are not returning here. So we need to return after updating, right? So it is going to the next code also. So we should have a return statement here. So now if I paste it, it is going to this one, right? So after this, what we can set, okay, okay, I will just set the index, not index, digit count, minus 1. So let us check now. If I copy this one and paste it here, it is going to the last field. So it is correct now. So now we have to build feature for, if I give backspace, it should clear and move to the first previous field. So to do that, what we can do, we can just create a new function for that. Okay. Okay. Let us create a function. handle key down maybe. So we need to use handle key down event listener for that, to track the backspace. So what you can do here, we have to provide on key down, and what we will do here, I will just use a callback function, and I will check the event and index maybe. So to track which index we are tracking for the current input, and I will receive here the event and index. Okay, and I will just check what we are getting in the index event. So let us check that. If I am giving 1, so if I am giving 1, 2, 3, we are getting a object, right? So for that event we need to track, we need to check what is the key. So if we are giving backspace like this, you can see there will be one key, that is backspace. So we will use this and clear the input field. So what we will do, first we will check if the value is clear or not. If not, event dot target dot value, and if there is no value inside that input field, and what you can say, event dot key is equal to backspace, then what we will do, we will just move to the previous input field. So to do that, I will use the same syntax, input ref, and here I will give index -1. Let us check that. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I give backspace, it is going to previous field, it is going to previous field, like that. So it is done now, I think. And one last feature we have to build, if user is typing and the array has been filled with the required number of digits, then we should hit a API call, or you can give on console log, right? So if user is giving 4 digits, okay. So what we can check here, we can use effect hook for that, to track whether the input array has been filled with all the digits or not. So let us do that. Use effect, inside use effect. So I will have one callback function, and that will be that callback function will be called once the input array changes. Input array is getting changed. So what I will do, I will just track the length of input array, but length is equal to net our digits count. I will wrap this in a you can say if function, and then we will just console log. What we can do, we can just join it with empty string. So let us check that, and if I am giving 1, 2, 3, 4, so it is changing for each value, it is printing for each value. So okay, what we can say here, length is not tracking, it is tracking the length of array, not the string it is entered, right? So what we can do, I will just do it here, and if I do now, if I give 1, 2, 3, 4, then only it is getting printed. Let us check once. If I am giving 1, 2, 3, 4, then only it is getting printed. Or maybe we can also convert it to number like this. So I'll just paste it here. So let us refresh it and check. First thing, it is going to the first input field, and if I take 1 2 3 4, it is just hitting API call. Means here you can see we are just console logging it as a number. If I give it backspace, it is going to previous field. That's correct. So after that we can check another feature for copy pasting. 1 2 3 4, and if I copy this and paste it here, it is filling the data, and it is also console logging it. Let us take with another field, maybe 6 7 8. We'll copy this, copy and paste it here. You can see it is console logging it. That's correct. Okay. So that's all for now. You can go through the code and practice it as much as you can. You can use this code sandbox UI to practice all the React machine coding interview. And for the next time we will come with a different machine coding interview. So please share, subscribe and like my video. I will come across many more machine coding interview questions and we will solve it together. Thank you so much.